Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, November 1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is insisting that schools must adhere to government's policies that restrict corporal punishment and removes mandatory auxiliary fees, particularly at the early childhood level. Mr. Holness points out that the Charter of Rights under the Constitution guarantees access to pre-primary education for all Jamaican children without any obligatory fees. He says government's position, therefore, is that any early childhood institution that receives government subvention must not charge a fee to students.
And as we move along this path, expanding infant schools, we will be fulfilling our constitutionally established obligation to the children of Jamaica to provide them with free pre-primary education.
At a function on Wednesday, the Prime Minister also argued against the practice of corporal punishment in early childhood institutions, saying it entrenches and legitimizes the use of unregulated force and violence.
We have been literally saying to our children, a slap is right. When that child leaves, then a kick is right, a stab is right, and then shooting is right. And it only takes one to create the violence and mayhem.
Prime Minister Holness was addressing the official handing over for the newly completed Jamaica-China Goodwill Infant School in West Central St. Andrew. It was completed in August and has a capacity for 180 students. The government-owned institution is one of two built with support from the Chinese government. The other is in St. Thomas. The Prime Minister, who is also Member of Parliament for West Central St. Andrew, also promised to begin work on the new Olympic Gardens police station later this month. In addition, he said land was being sought to build a facility for golden agers in the constituency. In the meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is seeking to assure citizens that Jamaica's sovereignty is being protected in all dealings with the Chinese government. Addressing public concern about Jamaica's relationship with China, Mr. Holness says there is no need to fear the volume of investments and loans from the Asian giant.
The government of Jamaica has been very strategic, and the sovereignty of Jamaica is always foremost in my mind. So when we engage with that as a non-negotiable part of the partnership.
During Wednesday's handing over of the Jamaica-China Goodwill Infant School, Mr. Holness said it would not be prudent for Jamaica to avoid engaging with the world's second-largest economy. But he insisted that government was ensuring that the country benefited from the relationship through tangible projects to support development. The Ministry of National Security will be undertaking a comprehensive review of the parole process within the Department of Correctional Services. The directive comes from the National Security Council following a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Andrew Holness recently. During that meeting, the security forces raised concerns about parole being granted to offenders whose release had been assessed as being contrary to the public interest given the magnitude of their criminal records. In response, the National Security Council instructed that strong interim measures be considered until the review process had been completed. The Prime Minister-led body said persons eligible for parole should receive due consideration within a framework that does not compromise public safety. For his part, Mr. Holness said his government's foremost priority remained the assurance of community safety while supporting the process of rehabilitation and reintegration of reformed prisoners back into the society. Starting mid-2019, $54 million will be spent by the National Housing Trust, NHT, to facilitate research on bamboo as a possible housing material. The project will be carried out in phases. The first will involve testing local strains of bamboo, while the second phase will concentrate on the construction of bamboo prototypes. Senior General Manager of Construction and Development at the NHT, Donald Moore, tells JIS News that the interest in bamboo stems from the fact that it is a strong material with the possibility of reducing housing costs.
Bamboo, the world over, is used as a building product. And we want to be able to benefit as much as possible from that, inclusive of the fact that it is stronger than steel. the tensile strength.
The Bamboo Research Project is a collaborative effort of the Bamboo Industry Association of Jamaica, Bureau of Standards Jamaica, and the Planning Institute of Jamaica. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.